What if the biggest threat to your future isn't your enemies, your circumstances, or even your lack of discipline? What if it's your own brain? Every day, your brain is making thousands of decisions for you. What to pay attention to, what to ignore, what feels important, what feels too difficult, and most importantly, what feels good right now. And that's where the problem begins. Because your brain was never designed to make you successful. It was designed to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, this was incredibly useful. Your brain needed to notice danger, avoid pain, conserve energy, and search for immediate rewards. But today, the same survival system is operating in a completely different world. There are no lions chasing you. Instead, there are notifications. There are endless videos. There are games, entertainment, shopping, social media, and 1,000 tiny distractions waiting for you every time you feel bored. And your brain loves them. Because your brain doesn't ask, will this make my life better 5 years from now? It asks, will this make me feel good right now? That's the hidden battle happening inside your head. And here's the frightening part. You can lose this battle every single day, without even realizing you're fighting it. Imagine 2 versions of your future. In one version, you wake up 5 years from now and everything has changed. You're healthier, more confident, financially stronger. You've built something you're proud of. You finally became the person you always said you wanted to become. Now imagine another version. 5 years have passed. But somehow, nothing really changed. You're still saying, I'll start tomorrow. Still watching other people live the life you wanted. Still telling yourself you just need more motivation. The scary thing is that both futures can begin with exactly the same person. You. The difference isn't usually one massive decision. It's thousands of tiny decisions that seem meaningless at the time. 5 minutes of scrolling. One more episode. One more day of procrastination. One more excuse. And your brain is extremely good at making these choices feel harmless. It whispers, it's only today. But tomorrow, it says the same thing. And then the next day. And eventually, today, becomes your life. This is one of the most dangerous tricks your brain plays on you. It makes immediate comfort feel real, and future consequences feel imaginary. Think about it. If I offered you a delicious dessert right now, you could almost taste it. But if I offered you a healthier body 6 months from now, you can't feel that reward today. If I offered you $10 right now, you would feel the excitement immediately. But if I offered you financial freedom 10 years from now, it feels distant and abstract. Your brain naturally gives more emotional weight to what exists in front of you. And that's why people can understand exactly what they should do, and still do the opposite. You know you should study. But your phone is right there. You know you should exercise. But your bed feels comfortable. You know you should work on your dream. But checking one notification feels easier. And slowly, your brain learns something dangerous. It learns that discomfort should always be escaped. The moment something becomes difficult, you reach for relief. And every time you escape discomfort, your brain gets rewarded. That's how procrastination becomes a habit. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain has learned that avoiding discomfort works. At least for a few minutes. And those few minutes are enough to create a powerful loop. You feel stressed. You avoid the task. You feel temporary relief. Your brain remembers the relief. Next time you feel stressed, you avoid the task again. The behavior becomes automatic. And now you're not simply choosing to procrastinate. You're training your brain to procrastinate. But there's an even deeper problem. Your brain doesn't just control what you do. It slowly changes what you believe about yourself. Imagine you tell yourself you're going to wake up early. You set the alarm. Morning comes. You hit snooze. Nothing dramatic happens. The world doesn't end. But something inside you changes. Your brain just received a message. I don't keep promises to myself. The next day, you make another promise. And break it again. Eventually, you stop trusting yourself. And this is where people get trapped. They think they have a motivation problem. But often, they have a self-trust problem. They don't need another inspirational video. They need evidence that they can rely on themselves. Because confidence isn't something you simply think into existence. Confidence is built when your brain repeatedly watches you do what you said you would do. One small promise. Kept. Then another. And another. But your brain has one more trick. It makes you believe that changing your life requires becoming a completely different person overnight. You imagine waking up at 5 a.m., working out every day, reading 50 books, building a business, never wasting time again. And because that version of you feels impossible, your brain gets overwhelmed. So you do nothing. But real change usually doesn't begin with a dramatic transformation. It begins with one uncomfortable decision. The decision to interrupt the pattern. Instead of scrolling for another hour, you stop after 10 minutes. Instead of waiting for motivation, you begin while you still feel unmotivated. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" you ask a more powerful question. What would the person I want to become do next? Because every action is a vote. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you cast a vote for your current identity. Every time you choose the difficult thing, you cast a vote for your future identity. And no single vote changes your life. But eventually, the votes add up. That's why your future is being created in moments you don't think matter. The 5 minutes nobody sees. The decision nobody applauds. The temptation nobody knows you resisted. That's where your life is actually being built. So the next time your brain tells you, "Just do it tomorrow," pause. Ask yourself why. Is tomorrow really better? Or is your brain simply trying to protect you from the discomfort of today? Because your brain will always prefer the familiar. Even when the familiar is making you unhappy. And that's the paradox. The life you desperately want may require you to repeatedly do things your brain desperately wants to avoid. Boredom, uncertainty, failure, rejection, discipline, delayed gratification. But here's the good news. Your brain is not your enemy. It's a machine that learns from repetition. Which means you can teach it something new. You can teach it that discomfort isn't danger. That boredom isn't an emergency. That failure isn't the end. That keeping a promise to yourself feels better than breaking one. And slowly, something incredible happens. The thing you once had to force yourself to do becomes normal. You don't become a new person in one day. You become a new person through the choices you repeat every day. So maybe your brain isn't secretly destroying your future. Maybe it's simply following the instructions you've been giving it. Every scroll, every excuse, every promise, every small act of courage. You're teaching your brain what kind of life to build. And one day, you'll look back and realize something terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Your future wasn't destroyed in one dramatic moment. And it wasn't created in one either. It was built quietly. By what you chose to do. When nobody was watching. So the question isn't whether your brain is controlling your future. It already is. The real question is, are you going to keep letting it choose for you?